going. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I bump into an old person tottering slowly down the street,
I'll go over here. Yep.
I always think to myself, I could take him.
I could take him.
But I don't, because I'm a normal human being. And I've definitely never considered electrocuting them with 50,000 volts for 30 seconds until they die. But that's exactly what some people did last month in Australia,
What?
when a 95-year-old woman with dementia was killed by coppers with a taser.
A 95-year-old great-grandmother tasered by police in her aged care home, dying tonight.
All because she was holding a knife and walking around with her walking frame in a nursing home. Then after she approached cops at a slow pace, they tasered her and she died. So
Why did they tase her? What fucking threat is a 95-year-old slow-walking woman with a fucking walking assistant with a knife in her hands? What? What the fuck is going on?
So today I'm going to try and make a device that shows that we might not need to kill unarmed people. Okay, now
Just
I actually made this
disarm her.
man-catching device a couple of years ago, but it was really bad. It didn't work properly, it snapped, and I also only tested it on a 14-year-old child. Worst of all, it had a locking mechanism in the jaws that would prevent it from opening once closed. But that button for locking and opening was in the jaws, in reach of the person you captured, so they could just press the button and free themselves. So not the best man catcher. And a couple of things have changed since that video 3 years ago. I've discovered the magic of welding and metalwork, so I can make it stronger and scarier
What
with
the fuck?
spikes. And
How is
also,
Orca
my moral
doing?
compass has decreased. And to start, I need to design the closing
Amazing.
mechanism. And I've always thought bull ants have really beautiful jaws which overlap and seem to lock. So I just grabbed
Yes,
an ant
very
from my
beautiful.
garden and did a sketch of its mandibles.
Come back.
Yo, thank you for the blowhole
Now, I want
blast.
this to work by having these jaws on the side here, which have spikes, which move towards each other and lock in a closed position when these two metal bars get pushed towards each
Baby
other.
orca.
So to test if the mechanics work, I made it out of
He
cardboard.
went back to space.
Which is definitely too floppy to even catch the floppiest of old people, but I think I'm on the right track here. Then I made a
And
prototype
draw
out of
me
wood,
like one of
and
your
after
French
fiddling around with the
girls.
dimensions, it seems to close alright and isn't that floppy. Which means it's time for me to spend $100 on metal and cut out my design with my mate's plasma cutter.
Damn. Don't look, child. Your eyes.
And this really
They're
is the
gonna
kind
feel
of
like
thing you need a
sandpaper.
CNC plasma cutter for, as after only 10
Barefoot.
minutes I'm already sweating,
Oh, boy.
my back's sore, and my feet are pretty badly burnt. But I finished all the simple pieces, and I didn't want to screw up the more
the
complicated jaw-shaped pieces, as I found it really hard to even follow a straight line. So instead, just bought 2 jaws from the jaw section of the local hardware store. Then I cleaned off all the unnecessary sharp bit on the belt sander and also made them all the exact same size, then drilled the holes. And the more I drill, the more excited I get to see if I've wasted $100 on metal. And after bolting it all together, it seems to kind of work. And also looks way cooler than I thought it would when it closes up. But this doesn't mean it will catch a person. Okay, now I just need to put this whole thing on the end of 2 pipes
But how will he
that are
trigger the
inside each
mechanism
other. And
to
the inside
close?
pipe will have a handle that I can pull to close the whole mechanism. Now, when I was designing this thing, I thought I would just cut a slot and put this piece in here and then weld the crescent piece in. But I forgot that I need this hole in the pipe to remain a hole, as the other pipe is going to be moving inside there. So I'm going to try something really smart or really dumb. I don't know yet. I marked the dimensions of the pipe on the piece and then cut 90% of the way through the metal and then welded it in place. So now I just need to cut the remaining bit inside the pipe. And if I cut the whole thing in half before, it would be very hard to align
Hi,
both
Lily.
pieces perfectly
Let's
straight
say
with each other,
regards.
especially when they
Have you
warp
ever
from
seen the
welding.
channel
So now that I've
Discount
tack
or
welded
played
it, I
Need
just
for
need to cut
Speed?
the inside
Most
pieces.
horses.
Nope. Never seen that.
See? Easy. Then I just welded it permanently in place. Now I know I'm not meant to weld galvanized pipe, as it releases poisonous fumes or whatever, but I am taking precautions by wearing a mask and working in a really well ventilated garage. But this is something I've never seen before. If anyone knows what this poisonous looking death spider web that's coming out of the steel, please let me know.
What the fuck?
Okay, now this pipe that goes inside the other one also gets a slot in it
What the fuck?
and then is welded to this piece. And now I get to see how the whole mechanism moves around.
Please work. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. Yes.
And it's a bit stiff, but seems to work alright, and the pieces line up with each other. So next, I cut a little peepee hole in the big pipe that will allow me to access the small pipe. And my plan was to cut a sideward slot in the big pipe and then weld a handle to the small pipe so I can lock the mechanism in place to the side like a bolt action rifle or something. But I realized a big problem. I can't actually turn the inside pipe because the whole jaw structure is attached to it. So I'm going to have to come up with something else.
Come up. Oh, fuck off.
And this camping chair might help. So I pulled off the leg and found this little knob spring thing, which I'm going to steal to put inside the small pipe. And Rick, if you're watching this, I know I told you that your camping chair broke when I slammed it in the front door of my car, and then you were really angry about it. And then you went into the forest looking for a log to sit on, and you brought a big one back. But then the ranger shouted at you because collecting logs degrades the natural habitat and biodiversity. Yeah, that was my fault, and I'll buy you a new one. Okay, so now the moment of truth. Did I destroy Rick's camping chair for a good reason?
What happened?
You did it.
It
Let's
worked?
go.
And it looks like I did. So next, I just cut down this pull stick, which
It
isn't a
worked!
gun, and sanded it down until it looks like a handle, and then put in this bolt, which just happened to be covered in glue. Then just screwed in the handle to the inside pipe. And now I can manually make the whole jaw thing close, and it seems to lock in place every time. But there is still a lot of friction between the metal jaw sections, and they could definitely be smoother. So I bought these things called thrust bearings, which I've used before in the bedroom, but never for building stuff. So I grabbed my wrenches
Wrench.
and put a thrust bearing between every
Bro, I
bolt.
can't with this
And now
man.
there is no friction between the pieces at all.
Oh, it feels so much nicer. Wait, Alexa.
Yeah?
Can I catch you?
What? I'm just gonna stand here and you're gonna put that on me.
Yes.
Alright.
Move your arm, please. That's not good. It grabs your shirt.
Thank you.
It's not even hitting you yet. Okay. How does it feel?
I got more on it. Oh yeah, go.
It's kind of stopped there. There's a big hole there. Oh wow, I'm sorry, that's actually bad. But I designed it for my waist.
This is why men die sooner.
Yes, this is why.
That's pretty neat.
They wonder why women live longer. This is why.
Try it on me.
You don't have to carry it. This is heavy as well.
It's really heavy.
Like how the opening is so small it can barely grab a person.
Oh, it's stuck. What?
It went in really hard.
Right,
It's straight in.
How do you get it out?
Press.
Well, this one's missing. This side of it come out.
Press
Wait,
both.
look.
Stop turning it. Stop.
I 100% understand it and would do it too.
That's really bad. Why are you making this?
And the jaws may look cool, but the spikes really suck for catching, as they are incredibly painful when they dig into your back. And also the
No
spikes
shit.
make it hard to wrap around people as they get caught on people's clothing. So all I did was make a new pair of smooth jaws, which should be less painful. And now comes the real test. And I'm going to test this on someone that the police are used to abusing, this 86-year-old homeless man. But he has a secret. He knows Kung Fu.
Oh shit! He knows! I like how I even lit the cigarette for immersion purposes.
Throw it. He got you.
Alright, let's stop.
Okay.
That is locked in on your leg.
It's very tight, yeah, it's good.
It was tight.
It works, it works.
It does actually work.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you can still
That was pretty good.
It wasn't too tight though. It wasn't.
It was tight.
Oh, it was tight, alright.
No, it's alright.
Just naturally.
Now, I think Cass was going easy on me, allowing the device to slip around
It
his body,
worked!
probably because I was paying him and he wanted to make it look like my device was working. But even then, he still managed to throw his knife into my neck and his ciggy into my leg. So this time I told him to
Ciggy.
pretend like he was actually going to be detained, like in all those prison stories he was telling us about, and to do everything in his power to escape.
Set, go. Okay. Put it down. Put it down. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, he's got it. What do I do now?
It's flawed!
He's got you. He got you. You're
He
dead.
stabbed you.
Your device sucks, Alex.
It's bad.
Was that easy? That was so easy.
Easy. But if you go in quick,
If I go in
we'll
quick,
disable you. No worries.
I cut it.
I never saw this coming.
The thing is, in real life, you won't be getting tips from the person who's trying to attack you.
No,
There's-
it doesn't work like that.
And that time, Cass just grabbed the claws and worked his way slowly up the pole until he could stab me. Now, I probably could have ripped and spun him off, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having a harmless man catcher. So, we were 1-1 now, so we decided to do the best out of 3 and give it one
He's
more go.
sliding another one.
Well, now I got you. Now it's locked in. Does that hurt? Wait.
Oh, he's pulling it off.
Just pull it down, pull it down.
I don't think you can get me. I've got you. I've got you.
He's not giving up.
I know.
He's still going. He's got his ciggy.
Oh, it's...
Just admit it's over.
And that time I managed to grab him, and once you have someone in the claws, it works really well, and they definitely can't get out. But getting them in isn't that easy.
No.
Also, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, this isn't an accurate test of how the device works, as he is too old. You need to test it on someone younger.
Not that young.
That was a good shot.
Ah yes, the weakest Tozzy grandma.
You got me.
And now try to get out.
He's too strong.
Yeah, you can get out if you can.
He's being 6-year-olded.
You can have a go, but that was embarrassing because I couldn't actually stop him from getting out.
And this was meant to be a funny joke
too
segment
powerful.
that didn't prove anything. But even this 3-year-old was able to defeat me. As once he put his weight down on the end, it just turns into a big lever and I can't pick it back up. And he wasn't even trying to do that. But again, I reckon it's because I didn't want to be rough and hurt him. So for the final test, I'm going to do it on someone that I'm not afraid to hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Let him enjoy his soupy.
Also,
Let
I'm
the
going to make some
man
quick changes
eat.
to the man catcher. In my first man catching video, you guys had some pretty horrible suggestions on how I could make it better. A lot of you talked about a different latching mechanism, but others wanted me to attach tasers or pepper spray to the front, and you even drew diagrams explaining how to do it. And I agree it's a funny idea and extremely easy to
But the
taser someone once you
taser-
already have them restrained inside a pair of claws. But it kind of defeats the whole purpose of not tasing them by putting a taser on the end, so I won't be doing that. Mostly because tasers are illegal for civilians like me to own. But I have an idea idea of how I can make this better, and that's by taking the whole thing apart and just using the middle stick with the crescent-shaped piece on the top, as the closing mechanism works well if I can get someone inside, but it's very easy to avoid if the person just grabs it, and then I just have a big, heavy stick. So hopefully, without the claws, I should be able to move it around.
But that's just
quickly.
like his first version.
You're just trying to kill me. Okay, but we're going properly. You're actually trying to kill me. This is revenge for the concussion. Okay, ready?
I'd want to be further
The
away.
concussion
Set,
revenge.
Go. I died so quickly.
Good friends.
Hell yeah. Like once they're locked in, you can just use it against them.
I hit myself.
Whoa, 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 whoa! It's like the Simpsons meme. The butt whoopies.
I'll get you on the ground.
I gotta look at that.
Okay, go.
Oh, that's going through my head.
Just two boys having a good time.
Do I have you here? Fun.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
The combat music.
And that worked a little better and a little worse. I was definitely more nimble with it and managed.
Someone in chat just said something that's so true. If 2 or 3 people at the same time had this, it would actually work out and they wouldn't have to resort to tasing people. That's actually smart.
To pin Alexa down 2 out of 5
I think the
times,
flaw
and then
is
he
that
also
only
knocked
one
me
person
down
has
twice.
it.
But the majority of the times, the other person was able to grab the end of the catcher, which then acts as a big handle. And
Japan
control the other
uses
person,
these.
Or just move down
Oh.
the stick and then get him. But that just might be because Alexa and I are hot buff guys. Imagine if you had
the
a team
buff
of people
guys.
with sticks like this, using it on a 97-year-old woman with dementia. Then I could definitely see this working. Thanks for watching. If you like this, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos.
That's so cool. I had no idea they used them in Japan, actually. That's great. Ludwig, why? The fucking thumbnail. Who hurt you? What if I have to scroll past the shit? I can't.